everyone. Welcome. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome. Thank you for coming. My name is Kelly and this is the Diva Den, and I like to talk all things home related, whether it's cooking, cleaning, organizing, beauty products. I like to discuss it all. Well, I am not sure if I have ever mentioned on my channel before, but I am a vegetarian and I get asked all the time, don't you find it hard to eat vegetarian? Where do you get your protein? What do you eat on a daily basis? So I thought I would start sharing some of my very favorite vegetarian meals on Mondays. So Meatless Mondays, that's become a craze with everybody trying to eat better and healthier over the years, and I know there was something called Meatless Monday, so I thought I would start sharing some of my favorite recipes and to show you that it's really not hard to eat vegetarian at all. As a matter of fact, and this is another question I get asked, what about your family? My husband is not a vegetarian. Yes, his veggie intake has increased since I became a vegetarian, but he still gets his meat. He still, eats his steak, he eats his chicken, he eats his pork chops, he still eats all that. I just do the rest of the meal. So he takes care of his meat and I do the rest of the meal. My kids, the same thing. When they are home, they and my husband worry about the meat portion of their meals, and I worry about the vegetables and everything else. Especially for me, I want to make sure that I'm getting enough. But it's really not hard to eat vegetarian. It's not hard to get all your nutrients. Yes, it takes a bit more work sometimes, and yes, sometimes I am extremely lazy, and I can always tell during the week when maybe I haven't gotten enough protein or I'm just not eating properly. But that's like everybody, right? Everybody can get off their wagon and not eat very well. I'm as guilty as the next. Now, the other thing to mention is products have come so far these days. There's so many great products on the market that are vegetarian, and they're really, really delicious. I've been a vegetarian probably, I want to say about 8, 9, 10 years now. And when I first started, it was very, very hard to find vegetarian food in the grocery stores. That was good. That didn't taste like cardboard or just not good at all. But nowadays there's so many different products on the market. So I will be showing you some of those that I buy to help with for a quick meal or whatever. But so I hope you enjoyed this series. I hope you share some of your meals that maybe you've made that are vegetarian. Even if you're not a vegetarian, I hope you share some of your favorite things, and I hope you enjoy this. So today, to kick off my Meatless Monday series, I am going to share with you one of my all-time favorites, General Tso's chickpeas. It is so good. It's so delicious. My family even love it. They love it. My husband will have it as a side with his pork chop or chicken or whatever. My children will even eat it as I do. I put it over quinoa, and oh my gosh, it is so good. So I'm going to leave the link below where I found this recipe. Sorry, I don't remember where it's from exactly, but I will leave the link below where you can go and get this recipe. But I'm going to walk you through the steps on how to make this. The longest part is making the General Tso's sauce. That's the longest, but everything else is so simple, so quick, so easy. So I hope you enjoy this. So here we go. General Tso's chickpeas. Now this recipe has you make your own General Tso's sauce, and there's a whole list of ingredients. But don't worry, I have made it with just buying from the grocery store. Some of in the Asian food section, they'll have some General Tso's sauces. So I have used that, and it has worked the same. It's been delicious. The only thing I would say is This is really, really good. When you make it yourself, it's really, really good. But there's a whole list of ingredients that you need for that. So for this week, I have made the General Tso sauce according to the ingredients on the recipe. Now the other thing that you'll want to do is, for the chickpeas, you'll want to marinate them. And the marinade is soy sauce, and the recipe calls for mirin, M-I-R-I-N. I had no idea. The first time I made this, I had no idea what it was. And then I researched it a little bit, and I guess it's a dry sherry of some sort. It's a Japanese dry sherry. But I didn't have any on hand. That's not something I would have on hand. So I researched substitutes for it. And to substitute for the mirin is a cup of, half a cup of white wine and 1 to 2 tablespoons of white sugar. That's it. So that's very simple. So what you do is you mix in your 1.5 tablespoons of your soy sauce, your mirin substitute, so your white wine and your sugar. You mix that together and you just let your chickpeas marinate in it while you cut up everything else that you need for this recipe. Now the other things that you're going to need are broccoli chopped into little florets, a red pepper, and any type of onion. I have used a red onion, I've used a white onion, I've used shallots. It doesn't matter. I just chop up. So if you're using a big like red onion or a white onion, I would suggest just using no more than half an onion, because then it just gets a little onion heavy. And for the shallots, I used today I used 1.5 because they were a fair size. So I used 1.5, and it seems to be just enough onion. And that's it. And it's just frying them up in the, sauteing all the ingredients up in a pan. Then you add in your chickpeas and your sauce, and you just let it simmer for a few minutes. It's very, very simple. So let's get started on this. Like I said, you have to let the chickpeas marinate. So what I always do is, as I'm getting this recipe ready, I will start by getting the soy sauce, the white wine, and the sugar all mixed together, open up my can of chickpeas and rinse them off, and just let them marinate while I get everything else ready. And then I just set them aside. So as the chickpeas are marinating, I'll start preparing the General Tso sauce. And there's a long list of ingredients in there, and I am going to leave the recipe below for you to where you can find it. But there's things in this like vegetable broth, tomato paste, peanut butter, soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, coconut sugar, sriracha sauce, sesame oil, mustard, cornstarch, and black pepper. And then you just whisk them all together. And then you're going to set that aside until you're ready to throw it in the pan. So next you're just going to chop up all of the vegetables that you need for this. So like I said, it's just broccoli florets. So I just cut up my broccoli, put them in a bowl. 1 red pepper, thinly sliced. And I just put those aside. This is 1.5 shallots, all thinly sliced. And some minced garlic and ginger that you're going to throw in there as well. And that's it. And now it's time to start putting this together. Okay, so you're going to heat the oil in a pan until it's hot. And then you're just going to add the onions and let them saute for a bit. So once the onions have been cooking for a little bit, you're going to add in the rest of your ingredients. Your broccoli, your red peppers, and your garlic and your ginger. And you're just going to let those all cook together for a bit. So while this is cooking, you can drain your marinating chickpeas, because you're not going to add in all that sauce with them. You're going to drain your chickpeas before you add them in. Everything's been cooking for a couple of minutes all together. It's really smelling really good. That ginger and garlic smells wonderful. Now it's time to add in your General Tso sauce. I'm just going to turn it down a bit. We don't want it to boil off too quickly. Everything nice and coated. Oh, I wish you could smell this. This smells wonderful. So good. And my drained chickpeas. And that's it. And you're just going to let everything heat up together with that sauce. Get everything all nice and combined. And just let it marinate for a little bit. Even looks pretty, all the different colors, and oh, smells so good. Smells so good. There, so I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit and just let this cook and let all the flavors come together. So here it is, folks, General Tso's chickpeas, and you can see how easy and quick that was to make, and it is delicious. I've just placed it over a bowl of quinoa. That's the way I like to eat it, but like I said, my family will just have the chickpea mixture probably by itself as a side to their dinner tonight, and I can't wait to eat it. It's going to be so good. I haven't made this in a while, and I'm really looking forward to it. I hope there's leftovers for lunch tomorrow, but that's how easy it is to make. It is so simple and delicious. I hope you've enjoyed this quick and easy vegetarian meal, and I hope you'll join me each week. And I'm going to try and share each Monday another meatless meal for you for Meatless Monday, and show you how easy it is to eat healthy and quick with no muss, no fuss. So until next week, I hope you have a fabulous week. And before you go, if you like this video, you'll give it a thumbs up, and maybe perhaps subscribe to that red button below and become a diva. I'd love to have you join the family. And until next week, I hope you have a fabulous week. Bye, you guys.